Men of Reddit. What's the strangest boner you've ever had? When my wife and I got married, we got a bunch of money as wedding presents. We lived abroad and the wedding was in her home country. So people mostly gave cash rather than giving us gifts that we couldn't take with us. We got home after the wedding and counted all the cash and I got a raging boner by the time we were done. Worth noting that the amount was more than we had in our name at that point. Airplane boners. Almost every time during takeoff. I have liftoff. Not sure if it's the sudden change in altitude or cabin pressure or what. But I pretty much expect it every time now. Almost every time during takeoff. I have liftoff. Why is that so funny? Every single day in grade 9 gym like clockwork. I used to get an erection just before I got off the bus to school every day for almost a year when I was about 14. It would have been super embarrassing, but fortunately my erection isn't especially difficult to hide. Go to take the wins with the losses. I regularly go hiking with my wife. Every time we are at or near the top or a mountain or cliff and I look over the edge I get hard. You get hard from edging? It's the cat call of the void. Edit. Damn. Guys. Thanks for the bling. Anyone else get the crying wife GF boner, or am I the only terrible person here? I get a boner anytime I'm in the vicinity of my wife. One time I hit my head hard and I got the hardest bone ever. Just for your information, unexpected boner is one of the diagnostic clues for a spinal injury. My girlfriend when she's just finished crying. I don't know why, but I think it's the way her eyes look when they're wet. Math class boners in high school. Is it cause the math problem was hard too? I was at a Christian music festival. A friend of mine at the time was sad because his girlfriend broke up with him. The band that finished on the stage was the couple's favorite and played their favorite song. He started crying and hugged me. I was his shoulder to cry on. But then I felt myself chubbing up. Some guy is crying his eyes out on my shoulder and I'm getting a boner. That was weird. Classic case of morning wood. Will answer for my spouse. Even though he might give a different answer. He went through a phase where he was really captivated by owls. We went to a bird park. Unaware they had an entire indoor enclosure filled with different types of owls. It was dark and eerie inside. Your eyes had to adjust, and the owls in different rooms sort of crept up on you. There were so many owls. Way more owls than he had dreamed of seeing that day. It probably took us half an hour to walk through. Needless to say, he was very moved. Strangest was probably when I had an intense workout session and got ready to go to bed after a shower. I was so exhausted and seriously didn't feel like jerking one off. So there I was. Just lying there with a raging boner trying to sleep. It's not the worst or more embarrassing experience. Me, a straight male, was turned on by my male friend yelling and swearing at me while hitting me with a ball. I still think about it sometimes. In 7th standard we were reading reproduction in plants. And I got a boner. The teacher teaching was pretty hot. So that could be a reason. Don't lie, that pollen looked SIF and you know it. Anytime a woman tells me she loves me or goes into some emotionally related tangent about her feelings for me, I get a massive hard on. Massive heart on. Not my boner obviously. But I was doing first aid training in swimming lessons and had to practice the Heimlich on an unconscious victim with a partner in front of the whole class, which includes straddling the victim. As I was doing this demonstration I realized I could feel my partner's fully erect penis rubbing on me. We were in bathing suits. I was mortified. I can't even imagine the horror this poor dude felt. I think I was grade 1 or 2. Every time O Canada would happen in the morning my dick wanted to stand at attention. Your penis is a patriot. This girl told me the specific reasons she loved me, which immediately gave me a boner. At the dentist during a root canal. After being alone for years and barely having any human contact, I got a boner from a cat cuddling me and doing the needing thing they do. It was completely involuntary reaction and I feel weird about it to this day. Every time I wear tight pants I get a boner. Could not explain the reason why. Maybe my own ass gets me excited. Church boners when I was in grade school. There were giant paintings on the ceiling with semi-nude cherubs and lots of women there in dresses and nylons. I still have a thing for nylons and dresses. Church and cherubs not anymore. Every day when I got a lift to school, there was a hill we had to drive over. Whenever we drove up the hill I got a boner. Every single time. It doesn't matter what time of day it was. What day it was. I would get that same boner. I still do to this day. I used to have a pretty hot haircutter and her trim clippers vibrating around my ears could do it. Luckily it was gone by time she pulled the DRP off. I got a boner from being appreciated and respected. Weirdest feeling ever. Not the boner, the other thing. 5 years ago, I got a boner during every Christmas exam. Every single one. Why are you doing Christmas exams? Are you an elf? Got stung by a bee. I'm on the ground writhing in pain. Grab my EpiPen. Inject myself, get an instant boner. Boner lasts until I get to hospital. Apparently it's normal. I have synesthesia, where different rhythms make me see different people and faces. Some rhythms make the SZest women appear. And when I hear the right rhythm, it gets me hard. Edit. I did not realize there would be so many questions. I was happy to answer for the first couple days. But most are repeats at this point. So read through the thread first if you want to ask about it. Sounds produce visuals. Specifically shapes and forms. Rhythms in particular make me visualize people usually. And other animate creatures. It goes both ways. Imagery produces all kinds of sounds. And people produce rhythms. I can't describe most of the what does this person sound like? How do you describe a rhythm made of mostly non-existent instruments? The SZest rhythms are not usually associated with sex. It's the rhythm that makes it happen. The theme from Toe Jim and Earl. Inspector Gadget theme. One of the Minecraft songs. The knife, like a pen. There's a lot I can't think of off the top of my head. Once me and my new girlfriend were sitting on the couch watching TV. I was not feeling very sexual or anything, just very relaxed. She had her leg over my leg. And I started playing with and touching her foot. With a sock on. Next thing I know I realize my dick is fully erect in a matter of seconds. So apparently trazodone has a very rare but potentially very serious side effect that the doctor probably won't mention. Well, it happened to me. Took one to go to sleep one night. Next morning I have morning wood. NBD. Except it was still there when I got to work. 2 hours later. Still here. And it wasn't a normal boner. Only the shaft was hard. The tip was still totally soft. No way I could have had fun with it. It was just incredibly uncomfortable. Go to the ER. Doc takes a look. Refers me to go see a urologist at another hospital. Get to the other hospital. Urologist takes a look. I tell him I took trazodone. I wasn't the first one there that week for the same problem. Only way to fix it was to manually drain the blood out of the shaft. It was not pleasant. And there was a lot of blood. If I had waited longer to go to the ER, they told me the blood could have clotted and caused permanent damage. My children's father would get one every time he sneezed. He was a sneeze 8XS in a few seconds person. Led to some comical situations and uncomfortable ones, I'm sure, for him. Edit. So apparently I should have put more personal information on Reddit. Anyways. I speak in past tense. Well. Because he died. But you know. Baby daddy and such is so cute. When my ex told me she wasn't sure if she loved me and if she still wanted to be with me, I kinda cried a little bit and she hugged me and I got a boner. I went to the bathroom during class my sophomore year of high school and came back to find a car boot on my chair. It had been lying in the classroom for a week or so. Not sure why. Someone decided put it on my chair that day and I told my teacher. She proceeds to start yelling at me like I did it and what I know. Popped a boner. Thank God my desk was at the back of the classroom and I was sitting. Every now and then when I'm taking a welcome to being a guy. Your G-spot is up your ass. Went swimming in a river with best friend and his sister back in high school. Turns out there were lots of leeches and we all had to check each other and I ended up pulling leeches off of the side of my best friend's older sister's breasts. Somewhat understandable. But weird. There was this video of some sort of sea creature like a barnacle and it was opening and closing at the top. I got a hard on looking at it. Apparently I'm attracted to barnacles. At my grandmother's funeral an attractive girl was wearing very tight khaki pants and I happened to notice her from behind. It didn't help that I quickly realized she was my first cousin. Alabama or Kentucky? Got a fear boner one time. I'll leave it at that. The dolphin copper pasta. I was like what the is this? And more importantly why am I kinda horny? Edit. Here's some RI bleach because I know you dirty yes I gotta go looking for it. Edit 2. I was reminded recently about a song I heard on Reddit made by a very small band a while ago. I wanted to tell them how much they changed my views on music but I never had the opportunity and can no longer find their post. Now that this post is gaining traction might as well give the band a little popularity boost. Everyone go listen to Colossal Rex on Spotify. The song I like most is Sear. While reading the comments on this post. Anytime my wife is lounging in our house with her legs wide open. My penis thinks it's an open invitation even when it's not. No one will see this so I'm not afraid of people judging me lol. I get a boner whenever I play with Lego. I don't know why. I don't know how. It's not my sitting position. I am bewildered by this. Anytime I'm in a car or a bus. It literally always happens and I just don't get it. I feel like I need to mention I'm not at all attracted to vehicles. Now it sounds like I'm definitely attracted to vehicles. I can hand on heart say that humans are the only things I'm attracted to. You don't believe that though because I've said too much. Edit. Corrected first sentence. I am not a car or bus. I meant to say when I'm in a car or bus. Great now you definitely think I'm a car or bus. Goddamn it. Edit 2. Thank you for the awards. Never had those before. The upvotes are nice too. Thanks for the dopamine. Now you think I've never had an award. I mean I have had awards before. Just not Reddit ones. This joke isn't even good anymore. I've overdone it. Jesus Christ. A few years ago when my ex and I started really getting to know each other physically we'd smoke weed before having sex. It was awesome. My buds hadn't seen me in like a month so when I came back to chill we were all in my bud's backyard smoking weed around the table on his deck. I just remember when I tucked up. It's like my lungs sent a text to my dick being like, "You ready amigo?" Full stop. So I just had to sit in place with a huge boner around all my buds casually because my mind had associated weed to sweaty hot sex. I had to take time after that to smoke weed by myself to train my dick not to get Ben Steel rod hard. Getting a compliment. From a real girl. Ice cream. I have questions but I don't think I want answers. 1. Math class boners. 2. Random boners in French class. Every boner I get is weird. Used to get boners when my girlfriend was crying. Boner. Comfort needed for mate. I've got this. Can I speak on behalf of an ex-BF? We were having an insane fight. Not even an argument. No, a full-on screaming competition and the whole neighborhood probably heard everything word for word. All of a sudden I saw it. Out of pure surprise and completely caught off guard I stopped my half of the screaming. "What? Now you have nothing to say?" he yelled. "We should calm down. Your blood pressure is obviously high. WTF does that even mean? You have a boner. And in regards to your next question. No. Apostrophe. Weirdest way to win a fight. Not sure who exactly won most though. It made a 90-degree turn to the right. I thought it might have been pointing to gold. But it wasn't. Elastigerol. Back in 7th grade. I still remember it vividly. I was just zoning out in history class while others did presentations. The class was almost done, so I figured I'd go the next day. Nope. Got called to go to the front of the class to present. The teacher calling my name startled me, and all of a sudden it was happening. I walked quickly to the front of the class, faced more towards the board, and turned my head to explain my slides for my project. All while I frantically was saying the ABCs in my head to make this horrible nightmare to end. Got one at my grandfather's funeral. To this day I can't explain it. You won't believe this, but I got a huge boner after watching Soul today. Fell asleep during class. Nearly had nocturnal emissions in daylight. But I woke up instead. P.S. I don't get wet dreams. I just black out. I think it's because I don't fantasize at all. Because I used to be worried it would subconsciously affect my thinking when around my friends. Because 90% of my friends are the gender I'm attracted to. I lucid dream whenever I sleep in an abnormal way. Such as when I sit. So that's why I woke up in time. Semicolon. I also got a boner during the SATs. Both times I took them. And the acts too. I also was sneezing non-stop during both SATs. So I actually did decently. All things considered. I guess the boners in high school when I was like, oh man. 5 minutes till the bell rings. Erection. Oh god, please go away. Erection and fees. Bell rings. I stand up and immediately put my books and binder in front of my dick and shuffle off. One summer I ran into an old co-worker I was into. She was wearing a tank top, so the moment we recognized each other she dropped her boyfriend's hand, put both her hands behind her neck and stood inches in front of me as we caught up. We just had a normal conversation, but after 5-10 minutes I noticed I had a raging erection and crazy energy. We used to talk all the time, including sex, and never had that happen. Poor BF. During a fight in Helmand province. I promise I'm not a furry. But I was watching Dragon Ball. And Goku turned into an ape. I got the boner when Bulma, the girl, was on the screen, so it's not the ape thing, okay? Accidentally looking at my science teacher's ass. Did I regret it? Yep. Did she have a nice ass? Hell yeah. My first day on a Daryl. My god. I was at work in a meeting with boring, smelly middle-aged men discussing company financials, and I was scared my pee-pee's gonna burst out through my trousers. I thought the pills turned me gay. The boners I get when I have to pee, lol. It sucks cause when you stand up in a restaurant or classroom to use the bathroom you gotta kinda hold our hands together in front. Middle school gym class. It was dance day where we were learning how to square dance. My crush asked me if I wanted to be her partner. Just touching her gave me an erection immediately. It was impossible to hide because of the shorts I was wearing. The whole class saw. Even the teacher. Lol me. Edit. Honeymoon. We went to get a couple's massage. I had a very large woman. She was not attractive at all. As she was massaging my lower back and sides, I started to get a chub. I didn't before we went in, and she was pushing on the right spot and my body was like, I got his bro. It took everything I had to get it to go away before I had to flip. My wife was in tears laughing when I told her. I get bonus seeing other guys in flip-flops or Vans. Edit. Over 60 upvotes. I just have one question. Where are all you guys hiding? Girl I was into was treated poorly by her boss. I went to her to see if she was okay. She was dead and on the verge of tears. After a few minutes of telling her that her boss was wrong, she was just doing her job. She was in the right. and that she deserved to be treated better. She broke down and the tears came. Instant boner. I was like, WTF. I'm trying to emotionally support her here. And tears are absolutely not my fetish. Was a petting a cat once. Got harder than titanium. Wrong PSSY. Edit. Thank you stranger for the award. Simply trying to give OP some encouragement as it seems his enthusiasm is slightly misdirected. In junior high I always got hard when riding the bus. Between you and half the rest of these commenters. I now understand why all the middle school boys on my bus route always looked tense. I was about 12 and was out shopping with mum. The erection arrived but by now I was a pro. The belt flip or tuck or whatever you want to call it was employed and had never failed me. Off I went walking around the big sporting store. After a while I noticed a couple of people, adults, had looked at me very strangely. Did I have booger hanging out? Was I just a weird looking kid? I walked over to a full-size mirror to see. In all of my boner arrogance I had made a huge mistake. When I had done the belt flip my t-shirt had got itself tucked in between my lower stomach and penis. Not hanging over my penis covering it. My erect penis was poking out of my shorts like a little naked mole rat curiously looking at the outside world. Mid-90s I was in the Navy and mid the middle watch on the gangway, 12:0/4. 0 AM, on Thursday night. Got up Friday morning after a couple of hours kip. Did some work and late morning told we could go home for the weekend. I was being given a lift most of the way of the 3-hour journey home by an officer in training. Nice guy but quite reserved. Nice summer's day. Really warm car and weary from the night before I went to sleep not long into the journey. I woke about an hour later with a flagpole boner which my tracksuit bottoms were not hiding at all well. The realization of this as I became aware of this epic awkwardness made me burst out laughing. The poor bastard looked straight forward like his life depended on it. I made several apologies. But morning wood is never a great conversation with a superior officer. I was damn well glad to finish that journey. My wife has me pinned down and was tickling me while trying to get off a packed airplane. Super awkward. Get off. See what I did there? A logic puzzle video game. It's weirder because I can't keep a boner when watching actual PRN. I think it's because I'm concentrating too hard on the PRN to actually keep the boner. But it also doesn't actually turn me on. And on the other hand I relax when I need to think through a puzzle and the relaxation does it to me. A lot of the from our trashy boners. This thread is gold. Not me. But I remember a guy on the internet once saying he saw his parents watching a group of people naked in a pile. And years later he found out it was a Holocaust documentary and those people were dead bodies. Dot. One time I got a boner while sitting on my knee shins. And my junk was between my thighs. When I looked at it, it was just longer at first. Rather than, you know, longer and wider. Due to my guess being sandwiched between my thighs. That was a strange boner. Got one from having a girl's tongue in my ear. Also from having my toe sucked. I'd seen Tame to some but I had no idea I liked that. Was watching a streamer the other day who is really good at this game I'm a fan of. She says back it up daddy. Mind you I have never been even close to interested in the daddy mindset and have never seen this streamer in that light. Not me. But my boyfriend at the time and I was watching a documentary about fish. How to get trough quarantine 101. There was this clip where we saw a female fish transition into a male fish. My boyfriend then coughed and sat in the I don't want my partner to find out I have a boner position. I ended up asking if he had a boner. And he shyly nodded. I said it was okay and we moved on. BTW I do have his permission to post this.